Good morning. It's 9:52 Mountain Standard Time. Today is the first. Happy September. Yo, man, good morning. Get your coffee in you. Be motivated. Kill it today. Do your thing. Let's jump right into it. Last night, the NBA has been phenomenal. I'm a little on the edge as far as refereeing goes. I think it's been like that for like the last year, 2 or 3. Honestly, as far as like giving out technicals, it's probably the most frustrating thing that an NBA player can't express themselves after a bad call. And that's probably one of the things that just jerks my shit, man. It just pisses me off is when a ref makes a terrible call and the player reacts and then they tee him up and then they go review the footage to overturn the call. Man, that has got to piss some people off. There's got to be a way, or there's got to be a rule to say that if you make a bad call to cause the reaction, you got to overturn the technical as well as the foul. It just makes sense. Just makes sense. It's almost ridiculous. I mean, these games are so close that they're coming down to 1, 2, 3-point games, and those free throws make the biggest difference. That's something the NBA, I think, needs to fix. But there's bigger problems than that. And the question is Houston, do we have a problem? Do they? Do they really? Do they really? I don't think so. And the reason I'm going to say that is this is almost similar to the Paul George situation. Russell Westbrook does not have his feet under him just yet. He looks fatigued. He doesn't look like he's locked in. And I'm not the biggest Westbrook fan, but it's easy to see that he's not engaged. He's not connected. I mean, just look at the last 2 possessions that cost Houston the game. First of all, Mike D'Antoni, what the hell? How come the ball does not get in James Harden's hands? And James Harden, really, we got to point the finger at James Harden. If you're the best player in the NBA, or if you call yourself the best player in the NBA, and you are the best offensive player, because you can get any shot you want. I mean, he's proven that. That's a fact. James Harden can create any shot for himself. And you don't go get the ball? What kind of mindset is that? James Harden, if you're going to put yourself in that category to be the best player in the NBA, you have to get the ball in the final seconds of the game. That's not a knock on Russell. But James Harden's got to get that ball. Should have Russell made those shots? Yeah, definitely. Or made that shot and then not turned it over? Definitely. It was a terrible pass. It was a good look as far as the shot goes, but he did air ball. But James Harden needs to be the one to shoot that ball at the end of the game. And this is why people have been criticizing him so bad, saying that James Harden is just a regular season player. And he is just justifying what people are saying. And that's why I show this photo of James Harden, because it's kind of like, what? Yeah, we're just as confused as you in this picture. But if I'm a Houston fan, I am not panicking, because just like Paul George, all it takes is a decent game from Russell Westbrook. Just a decent game. Not a good game, not a great game, just a decent game. That's it. But you got to give OKC credit, man. They got heart. And that heart starts with Chris Paul. 28 points. With him on the floor, they're plus 20. That's impressive. They were shooting the 3-point at 33%. That's beautiful. Their field goal percentage, 42.7. I love it. But they should have still lost last night. They should have still lost. And I'm just disappointed that the fact that James Harden did not get the ball in those last 2 possessions. Not just get it, but why didn't he go get it? If you're that guy, you got to finish the games out. And that's where and you're just proving the point to all the critics. They're saying you're just a regular season player. So I think this Game 7, there's obviously a chip on his shoulder. And I know he's hearing what everybody's saying. And this is his chance. This is the sad part. This is round 1. You shouldn't be having that issue this early, especially if you're a championship contender. James Harden. Game 7, is going to dictate what type of play you are going forward. You got to show out. Russell Westbrook all he has to have is a decent game. But James Harden, you've been playing phenomenal. I give you that. But great players will always be criticized by those final moments. And how much better can it get than a Game 7? I got the Rockets winning Game 7. I don't think James Harden lets this go that easy. So I definitely have them winning this game. All right, man. Let me move on to the next thing. We got Jimmy bringing the heat to the Milwaukee Bucks. Man, this game was beautiful. This game was interesting. Well, one thing that I haven't talked about is Miami Heat, nor Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler obviously can ball. He is a dog. If you needed to define a defensive player, it's Jimmy Butler. I mean, I get it. Giannis won Defensive Player of the Year, but with that being said, I don't understand why Giannis wasn't on Jimmy Butler towards the end. Well, I do understand, given the size, I think Jimmy can still get the step on him. So I know there was an interview yesterday where the reporter asked him, would he like to guard Jimmy Butler? And he said, no, he's going to do what the coach says. I'm paraphrasing there. But he's pretty much just going to listen to what his coach says. And I agree with that, because I don't know that Giannis can keep up with Jimmy Butler. Given he's smaller, he's quicker. I mean, he might be able to make up some space with his length and stuff, but Jimmy Butler is a baller. He's one of those guys that can create his own shots. So I agree with them when it comes to that. I mean, I'm going to criticize him just as much as we would LeBron James or Kawhi Leonard if they're not guarding the best player at the end of the game, because it's 1 or 2 or 3 plays that made the difference in this game, along with the goddamn free throws that Giannis is missing. Jesus, 4 for 12? Get your shit together, my guy. First of all, 18 points. Chris Middleton outscored you. And you're supposed to be the best player on this team. But hats off to Jimmy Butler, man, carrying this young team. And the one thing that he said is that he wants to play with dogs. And that wasn't happening in Philadelphia. And Philadelphia is showing an exact reflection of why he didn't want, or why he wanted to leave Philly. And Miami's just sitting in beautiful. You got the rookie hero coming on with 11 points. I like that off the bench. Iguodala's got to have a better game, though, only giving 2 off the bench. Jimmy Butler's not an offensive guy, or he's not known for his offense as much. So I don't see him having 40 points every game. And if that's what it's going to take for him to win, or for them to win this series, I don't see it happening. But if I'm in Milwaukee, I will say this. Milwaukee fans, just chill a second. Just chill. I know it's easy to jump on that and just start grilling Giannis, like I just kind of did a little bit. But we just got to chill, because Giannis isn't going to have 18 points every game. Game 2 is going to say everything. Because if they have not made any adjustments from last year, where they got a whooping from Toronto, if they don't make an adjustment, we're going to see the same thing. We're going to see Miami bring out the broom and sweep them away. But an adjustment is going to happen. You have to assume that an adjustment is going to happen in game 2, because what's happening is they're just clogging up the paint, not allowing Giannis to do what he typically does and dunk. Giannis has to be creative. Giannis has to hit shots. But it's a team sport. These guys got to hit. But it all starts with Giannis being more aggressive. I think the reason that he was lacking aggression in this last game was, I think it was frustrating. It was a combination of everything, right? I don't think he expected them to be that physical down there in the paint. I don't think he expected it to be as clogged as it was. But most importantly, I really think him getting to the free throw line was something that really discouraged him from being that aggressive. So in game 2, I do think we'll see an adjustment from the coaching staff with them clogging up. We're going to see a lot more shooting from the outside. Not going to be surprised if they shoot the most threes they have all year in game 2. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. Yo, so real quick, little Bettors Bet. I hit you with that Bettors Bet. Here we go. So let me show you all this. So what I have here is I got the Nugget. I'm betting the Nuggets tonight. I'm gonna touch on that in just a second. I'll bet the Nuggets. I'm gonna bet Boston. I bet this parlay the other day and I hit it. Of course, Vegas looks like they're scared because they're putting Boston even, and then they're putting the Nuggets to be the favorites at 110, but they're not really the favorites because Utah is at minus 120. So that's just Vegas being scared. I still do like this parlay though. I would suggest to bet on it. I got the Nuggets. I put 10 on the Nuggets just straight up. You'll win $9.09. And then I bet $10 for Boston. Of course, it's even, so you'll just win 10. You put it together for your parlay, and I bet 10 to win $28.18. I like this bet. I don't think that they are. I don't think Vegas is giving Boston the respect that they deserve just yet because of how young they are. But when you start looking at matchups, I think Boston has a better team. They're younger, they're more athletic, they're quicker, they're faster, they jump higher. It's just a combination of everything. They can run small, they can run big. It really doesn't matter. And not a knock on Toronto, but Toronto's just, I mean, they're a great team. They are a great team, but they're just a second round team. They're a team that's going to win you the first round, but probably gonna get knocked off in the second round. And this is probably gonna be a 6-game series, but I think Boston edges it out. They're just more talented. Jason Tatum is playing out of his mind. I think he's been under the radar because of the kind of game that Damian Lillard, Luka Doncic. Like, it was taking, and then you got Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell just shooting 50-point games, 40-point games. It's insane. And it's taken away from what Jason Tatum's been doing. And Jason Tatum has been balling. He's been balling. He's been balling. JB, what do you think about Jason Tatum? Yeah. Yeah, we like that. Boston Celtics will win today. They will win today. Let's talk about this beautiful Game 7. Jamal Murray, M&M. This is the M&M show. Murray versus Mitchell. I love it. Man, the head-to-head matchup, this is beautiful. If it was a one-on-one game, I would still give the notch to Jamal Murray. I think offensively he's better, but not a knock on Donovan Mitchell. He's a bad dude. That is a bad dude. Here's my thing. Here's where Charles Barkley on the TNT show, what he was criticizing Utah, talking about how they were just allowing them to play one-on-one defense with Jamal Murray when he got hot. And once you start cooking, man, that momentum shift is insane. Jamal Murray was cooking. At what point in the game do you go, I have to double team this guy and allow someone else to beat me? At what point in the game do you do that? Where does it start? Where do you say, okay, this guy's kicking our ass. We got to put 2 or 3 defenders on him and allow someone else to win this game because this guy's not going to beat us. At what point? You can't allow him to catch that kind of rhythm. And I think that's what we're going to see this next game. But I do believe that Denver is deeper than Utah. And I'm going to take the Joker over Rudy Gobert. And I also think the Joker's winning that matchup now. Gobert is getting soft. I think one thing we're also seeing from Gobert is he needs to elevate his game outside of the perimeter. Jokic is stretching the floor, allowing Jamal Murray to have that one-on-one opportunity. And they just got Harris back, which is one of their best defenders. That gives another person to put on Donovan Mitchell. The Nuggets were supposed to win this series, and I still believe they will. And that's why I got them picked tonight. That's exactly why I got them picked tonight. So let's just ask JB, what does he think about that again? Yeah, we like that. We sure do. All right, my guys, that's the end of my show for today. I appreciate you listening. Hit me with a little share and hit me with a little like. I appreciate y'all. Get your coffee and you kill it today. I love y'all, man.